place. Living life victoriously is your station for inspiration, encouragement, and refueling. Here we will discover together what it means to live a victorious life with your host, Victoria E. Henderson. I want you to know that you are not alone. So sit back, relax, just for a little while, and let's talk about it. Good evening, everyone. Welcome one. Welcome all to Living Life Victoriously. I am so excited to be here. My name is Victoria E. Henderson. Yay! And I am your host for Living Life Victoriously. Oh my goodness, I am excited to be here. Words cannot describe how happy I am to finally be at the place where I can have a show, Living Life Victoriously. And we're going to explore what that means on this show, how to live a victorious life, how to navigate the challenges that life gives us. And I'm going to talk about life experiences because all I know is my life, and all I know is what makes it great for me and what pushes me, what inspires me. And that's what we're going to do. First and foremost, I got to give some thanks and shouts out. I want to thank Elder Andrea Hines, Alan Chase, Ruth Griffin for believing in me, for pushing me. Hey, Elder Hines, how are you, baby? For pushing me, for believing that I could do this when I didn't think I could do it myself. I love you. I love you all. Thank y'all so much for being in my corner. Oh my God. Hi, Nikayetta. How you doing, everybody? Oh, it's so good to see you. Welcome. Welcome to Living Life Victoriously. Y'all go ahead and share the broadcast for me. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I am so glad to be here. Welcome. Welcome to the premiere show of Living Life Victoria. Hi, Angela. Oh my gosh. I'm just going to spend a few minutes saying hello. How are you tonight? Thank you for joining me on Living Life Victoriously. I'm going to keep saying it. And I'm going to say it is not about me. It is not about my way. I want us to walk this journey together to find out what it means to live a victorious life. I've already thanked Elder Hines, Alan, and Ruth Griffin for being in my corner. I also want to give a shout out to Mark Lewis. He is the producer of my opening and my closing to the show. He is a genius. He's a videographer, photographer. I just, my hat's off to you, Mark. Thank you so much for what you have done for the show. So let's talk a little bit about who I am. Hello to the Bahamas. Thank you so much for being here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I want to share with you my why for the show and who I am. And I used to say, when people ask you who you are, who are you, what are you, you start listing, oh, I'm an author, I'm a mom, I'm a sister, I'm a friend, I work here and there, all that. And that's fine. But what I want you to know most about me is my name is Victoria, yes, which means victorious one in itself. But I want to present myself to people as love, joy, and peace. Yes. I want those to be the things that you experience when you're in my presence, or if you're a friend of mine, or if you have any kind of relationship with me. I am love, joy, and peace. And my name is Victoria E. Henderson. I definitely wear many hats. Hi, Leah. How are you? Thank you so much for being here tonight. Y'all share the live. Like I was saying, what was I saying? Okay. I want to tell you about my show and how it all started. It started for me during COVID. I myself contracted COVID, and while I was looking for an outlet, looking for something on social media because we were stuck in the house, everything was negative. All I kept seeing was a lot of negativity. And when a friend of mine, a very close friend in age, and someone that I grew up with passed away from COVID, he was on Facebook one day saying, "Please pray for me," and he was on oxygen. The next day, the next day, we got word that he passed, and that just tore me up. It really did. And again, it was just nothing but negativity on Facebook. And so I said, okay, Elder Hines had her 8 at 8. And at the time, Ruth, these are my co hosts on Office Up. And I said, okay, Elder Hines had 8 at 8. Ruth was doing a minute, what she called it, Ruth Reads. And I said, okay, I'm going to do something cute too. I'm going to do Victoria Vocalizes. And I came on for 3 minutes, about 3 minutes, and just to give some positivity, just to give somebody encouragement. Because I felt like if I was looking for something and we were all boxed in, somebody else was looking for that too. So it was Victoria Vocalizes. And I did that, maybe once a week. And then my mom said to me, you know what, Vic? When every time I look at it and I see the words Victoria Vocalizes, I think you're going to sing. And, because I do carry a tune, then that's okay. I'm not going to sing on the show. Not, well, I don't know. I might. I might. I'm going to do what God says do. But I said, you're right. So then it became Living Life Victoriously. And so I've done it, I think, maybe a year or two. I would do a 3 to 5 minute snippet where I would talk about a topic and just give encouragement. And Elder Hines has said to me, "You ever think about doing a show? I could see you stretching this out." I'm like, nah, I'm fine. I'm fine on Authors Up. We good. But the truth was, it had the thought had occurred to me as well. And I was like, okay. So finally, I told her yes. I said, okay, God told me that too. I had to fess up. And so we said we do it. But things just kept getting in the way, in the way. Finally, I reached the point. It's time. It's time. It is time to tell the world what God wants me to tell you. And so that's how Living Life Victoriously got started. And I want to let you know my hopes for the show. My hope for the show is that I would be a source of inspiration, encouragement, a push for somebody out there who just needs to know that they're not alone. Along with being a mom and all those other things, I am also a fibromyalgia survivor. And recently I was diagnosed with arthritis. I've got arthritis in places I didn't know I could get arthritis for real. So every day, I am in pain in some kind of way. But I don't say that to you to have you feel sorry for me, or I'm not going to have a pity party. That's where the victorious part comes in. So that's where Living Life Victoriously comes in. That is my hope for the show, to show somebody out there that I can make it and you can too. And I want this show to be interactive. I don't want just me talking. So if you have some questions, if you have any comments, I can see them. So let's talk. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. I want to know if anybody wants to tell me what they think of living a victorious life. What does it mean to you to live victoriously? Because I'm going to share that with you. Hang on one sec. Hang on. I'm going to, excuse me. I'm going to share that with you, but I want to know what your thoughts are. You can put them in the comments here, or I also have an email address that is livinglifevictoriously1@gmail.com. It's livinglifevictoriously and then the number 1 at gmail.com. And you could send me an email and let me know what you think living victoriously means to you. Whew. For me, living a victorious life is not about everything going okay and you're always smiling and just being happy all the time. That's not it, because life is not always a bed of roses. And like I said, life is not always sunshine. It's not. There are difficult times, and I've had some difficult times. I like that, Angela. Being authentically you. Thank you. Thank you. And when I was first diagnosed with fibromyalgia, it was devastating to me. It was the year that my father passed away, and it was also just not a good time. And I felt, I was pain in my body, and at the time, the doctors didn't really understand about fibromyalgia. They just knew what the diagnosis was, and then they began to just treat the symptoms. I went from being pretty vibrant and out to having a walker, having a cane, and to be viewed as disabled was tough, tough. Living life victoriously means giving it your all. I love that, Nakayana. Giving it your all. That's a good one. I love that. Give it your all. That's right. That's right. We must give it our all despite what we go through. And like I said, when I was, diagnosed with the fibromyalgia, life changed a lot. I became the mom that was always sick and always laying in bed and always in pain, and really couldn't hug my children anymore like I wanted to, because it actually hurt. It hurt me to hug and just press on me in certain ways tightly. And so that changed life a lot, because I was, always hugging and having my kids in my lap and all that. But I'll tell you what, God saw me through that. He really did. And he became my all in all. I learned through that my fibromyalgia story and through my pain that pain is not the end. It's not the end. It's only beginning. And my faith in God is what has seen me through. I am a music lover. I remember Elder told me one day that God speaks to me in music, through music. And I didn't think that was the case. It never occurred to me that God spoke to me in song. And I realize now that he does. I actually wake up every morning. When I wake up, my first thoughts are not words, it's music. Living life and thriving no matter what the circumstances. That's it. That's it, Leah. Thriving no matter what the circumstances. I like that. No matter the circumstances. That's my life. No matter what has come my way, I'm going to laugh and see my way through it and sing my way through it. I was talking about the music. Sing my way through it, because for me, when I'm really feeling down, and I will put on my gospel music, whatever song that I know ministers to my heart, whether it's worship songs, whether it is, just praise worship or choir songs, that's what sees me through. Another question I could ask all of you: what do you do when you feel down? What do you do when you feel down and you want to get out of that place? What do you do? So if anybody wants to answer that. Valerie says, being honest and forgiving when you don't feel like a girl. Thank you for being here, Val. Being honest and forgiving when you don't feel like, that is living victoriously to you. Let's talk about that for a minute. You know what? Mm. I had a situation myself actually this weekend. Being honest and forgiving when you don't feel like. I'm telling you, there is victory in forgiveness. Forgiveness can be a whole topic. I like that, Val. Thank you so much for that. And all of you being authentically you, giving it your all, thriving no matter what the circumstance, being honest and forgiving when you don't feel like it. Uh, that's it. That's the keys. And for me, like I was saying, was music. Music is a big thing for me. If when like I said, when I wake up, there's a song in my heart. And just today, a friend of mine said that God put this on their heart. Trey Lynn, she sent me a beautiful song called "Depend on God." I sat at the table in my desk at work, and the tears just came down because I knew I was getting ready to do the show, and it seemed like a lot of things were just coming against me to make me feel down. And when she said that song, it said, "Depend on God." I really felt like God just told me right then and there that if I just depend on Him, everything is going to be all right. So you see, that's what I want to show you on this show, how God speaks to me, how He takes the little things, and just when I think I can't go on, He gives me something to push. That was a push for me today when that song came on, "Dependable God." And it just talked about depending on Him. Like I says, I try to make a list of what makes me happy and try to do something on the list. I love that. And it could be anything. A list of what makes me happy. Honey, I don't know. I don't know. Right now, I want to go to New York. I want to go to Indiana. Those are the things that would make me happy. I can't do those things, Nakayeta. What else can we do? But I like that. It could be something as simple as like going to get your feet done or going to get your nails done. I like that. Making a list. Does anybody else make lists like that? Well, anyway, let's see what I wanted to share with you. I share with you my why. I share with you how it all got started, my hopes for the show. And I want to be very clear. That's what she said. You can go to a movie. I want to be very clear about something. When I said life is not always happiness, and I don't want anyone to think that I just smile it away or um, music it away. There are days that I don't feel like getting out of bed. There are days that I don't feel like smiling with the world. There are days that I just don't want to do it, but I do. And it's that but I do that I want to focus on because I have determined in my life that if I give into those feelings, if I give into feeling sad and depressed, if if I gave in, what would I do? What would I do without hope? I believe firmly that if I didn't have hope, I would be nothing. And hope is what I lean on. My hope is built on nothing less than Jesus' blood and righteousness. And see, there it goes, a song. That's an old hymn. On Christ, the solid rock I stand. All other ground is sinking sand. And that's my life. That is my life, and that's the joy that's down in it. My mom told me once that she wishes that she had named me Joy because that's me. And my sister, I would get on her nerves. She would tell my mom, "Would you tell Vicky to stop singing?" Y'all. But I can't. Jesus put a song in my heart and it's here to stay. It is here to stay. And that's how I live life victoriously. I also understand that I don't live alone. I don't live alone. All of you who came on this live tonight, all of you who will watch the replay, all of you who are encouraging me to go on, to keep moving, I do it for you. I do it for you because I want you to know, I want you to see that you can make it. There are challenges beyond belief that we will go through. But if we go through it together, if we keep God first and depend on Him, everything is going to be all right. Elder Hines says, if you keep going and lean on Him, things will turn in your favor. My favorite. Amen. I believe that. I honestly believe that. Let me give you an example. I see you said your favor. Let me give you an example. I was worried today about how I was going to do the setup, how I was going to make sure that my internet was going to work because on Authors Up last night, I had to end up going on my phone because the internet, the wireless got wonky and dropped me right before we got on the show. So when I was at work today, I spoke to one of the ladies at IT, and I said, "Listen, I had taken a picture of the back of my router, and she said, I know just what you need. I got you." Before the end of the day, she brought that cable to me. It's Ethernet cable, and I have it hooked up now. And that's just like that, just like that. God gave me just what I needed. There's no dropping tonight. Everything is just fine. And he just, once again, let me know. And those are the ways, those are the things that I want to be able to share with you. Life practical lessons. And I have one for you, a life lesson. I want you to look at this little toy. Look at this little toy. And my life lesson tonight comes from what I call lessons from a Happy Meal. This is another way that God speaks to me. And I'm going to tell you what happened, why I have this toy, and why it's so important to me. Look at that. Look. See, can you see the little fist? The little fist going like it's fighting and the shield up, right? Let me tell you how I got this Happy Meal, this toy from the Happy Meal. Last month, well, a few weeks ago, let's say a few weeks ago, there was more month than money. And you know what I mean. Everybody out knows what I mean. When, you get your bills, you got things going on. And my youngest child got sick. And I had to leave work after working a 10-hour day, pick them up, go take them to the doctor, to the urgent care. And then I needed to get their medicine. So I only had a limited amount of money. And by that time, it was 8 o'clock at night. We were hungry. So, okay, let's go to McDonald's. So I counted up my little pennies. All right. I had enough to get them what they wanted. And so it was not enough for me to get a full meal. I ended up getting a Happy Meal. Here I am, 58 years old, right? Still dealing with feeding your children, finding a way to feed your children. And I take the lesser so my children can have. And again, I'm not saying any of this for anybody to feel sorry for me. It's called life. And when life be lifing, you just got to keep going. So I was a little that I couldn't get the big meal, right? So I said, all right, that's all right. I came on home and I said, you know what, God? I'm going to thank you anyway. I thank you for my Happy Meal. I thank you for the food that I have. I thank you that I'm full. I had something in my stomach. I thank you for the roof over my head. I thank you for this bed I'm going to lay in. And I was talking to my sister and I was telling her all that. And I said, guess what? I even got a toy. So we started laughing and I opened up the toy. And let me tell you, that thing spoke to me because look at the stance. This lady, I think it's Miss Marvel, whoever's Marvel comic, she came out the package like that, okay? That stance, already in a stance, ready to fight, and had the shield up, the shield of faith. Y'all get it, right? You're going there with me. Somebody tell me they understand what I'm saying. The shield of faith. And then this arm right here, already in position to punch. Oh, y'all, even now, as I think about it, I'm getting goosebumps because this little toy showed me, and God spoke to me and said, you got to keep fighting. You got to keep fighting. And you got to keep pushing. And I did like this. My girl is ready to fight. And that's how I'm going to be in my life. It doesn't matter if I have a Happy Meal. God provided that night. We may not know why. We might not ever know why. We might not ever understand. But just know God loves you. I love you. And you are not alone in this race. Okay? Thank you guys for saying you got me, because I got me too. I tell you, girl, this little Happy Meal toy is going to sit right where I can always see it to remind me of God's favor, his protection, and that I just keep doing the things that he tells me to do. Everything is going to be all right. I'm coming up swinging. I'm coming up fighting. I'm taking that stance. Thank you, Elder. I'm taking that stance because I'm going to keep fighting despite what the enemy thinks he can throw to me. We got it. Thank you, Sherry. We got this. We got this. I want to tell you guys also that among other things, I am an author. I am an author. About 4 years ago, I released a book called When I Need a Word, God Speaks. And When I Need a Word, God Speaks is the best of what I call my blogs from my blog site. And my blog can be found on, it's called Still Waters, and it's on wordpress.com. I'm getting everything together so it would be under one thing, victoriahenderson.com. But it's not quite ready yet. But for now, if you go on wordpress.com, you can find the book. And right now, I mean, not the book, you can find my blog, the book and the journal, accompanying journal. That's right. Get the book. Get the book. It is found. You can find it on Amazon or anywhere. Let me see if I can read a little something. We have a little time. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Let me read a little something. All right. Listen. I have come to the point in my life that it does not matter anymore. Doing what God tells me to do is more important than what any man has to say about me. Perhaps you have been there as well. Maybe you still are. You know God told you to go left, but you went right. Like Jonah going to Nineveh, I found that going in the wrong direction took me places I never wanted to be in. My belly of the fish found me unhappy, unfulfilled, and out of the will of God. I am here now and excited to see where He will lead me. I encourage you today to spend time listening to the voice of God. What is it you are supposed to do? What is your calling and purpose? It's not too late. Whatever your thing is, do it. I cannot promise you it will be easy, but I know that obeying God will bring a sense of peace and purpose unmatched by anything else. God knows the plans for your life. Trust Him to bring it to completion, the good works He has begun in you. You will not be sorry. I know that I am not. And so that's from my book, When I Need a Word, God Speaks, in the journal. I hope that you can get it. And listen, I'm going to end in just a few minutes, but I thank you for being here. Angie said it's the small things. Yes, God is always speaking. He is speaking. We just had to be quiet and still enough to hear Him. He speaks all the time. He truly does. And I want to tell you tonight, I want to be able to dedicate my show to different people in my life. Tonight's show is dedicated to a friend of mine. Her name was Sylvia Rogers. Sylvia passed away during the time of COVID. She's not the friend I was talking about earlier. But Sylvia used to come by my office and tell me, Victoria, I had a dream. One day she said, Victoria, I had a dream. And I said, what? She said, I dreamt that you were standing in front of a desk or at a podium. You were in a theater or something like that. And there were a vast throng of people were listening and they came to hear you speak. And I said, girl, I'm never going to speak like that. I don't know. She said she would tell me all the time, yes, you are. You're going to speak. And when you do, I want you to put me in the front row. I want to be in the front row. Well, Sylvia is not here today, but she spoke something in my life. So this show tonight is dedicated to my girl, Sylvia, who saw something in me that I didn't even see. And I may not speak on podiums, but I'm speaking on this broadcast tonight. And I'm here to speak life, love, joy, and peace into your life. You are loved. And there's nothing you can do about it. So I will leave you with that for tonight. That is what living life victoriously is going to be. Again, if you have any comments, you want to ask a question, please just email me, livinglifevictoriously1@gmail.com. Let me know what you think because you are important to me. And I want to go on this journey together, not just me, but you too. You are important. If you want to even be on the show with me, send me an email. We can talk. We can talk about the goodness of God because that's all I got is to talk about the goodness of God. I don't want to glorify the problems on this broadcast. I want to show how we get over, how we get through, how we just jump over, and all of that, because God is good. And I am a living testimony of his goodness and his grace, because I would be nowhere without him. And that's another song. Without God, I could do nothing. Without him, I would fail. Without him, my life would be rugged like a ship without a sail. I am going to be here the second and fourth Mondays of each month. So I'll see you in 2 weeks. Come back, please, and tell somebody else that Living Life Victoriously is on a roll. The premiere show is over. We're going to do this thing. Thank you. You are loved too. Thank you, Sherry. I appreciate that. Good night. Have a blessed night, and I'll see you in 2 weeks. Remember, live life victoriously. Good night. I pray something you heard on today's show has helped you and has given you the encouragement to keep on pressing. Let me know your thoughts. You can send me an email at livinglifevictoriously1@gmail.com. Also, for more inspirational content, you could check out my blog called Still Waters over at wordpress.com. Walk in victory daily and join me the second and fourth Mondays of each month. Remember, live life victoriously.